Oh, we are live. We are live. Oh my goodness. Welcome, guys, to another episode of Showtime in Paris. Oh my goodness. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a special and beautiful guest with us tonight. Not only do we have a special and beautiful guest with us tonight, our topic is going to be wowing you. So if I was you, I would get your notebook and your pen out because this topic is amazing and you're going to learn something from this topic. So I got my girl Fendi here with me. So I'm going to let you introduce yourself, girl. Introduce yourself for the viewers.
Hello, I'm Fendi, business owner of Milan Couture Collection LLC. Website milanscouture.com. Used to do hair, still dabble here and there. Um, you know, I don't know, whatever y'all want to know, feel free to ask me.
So you used to do hair, you dabble in and out. So that's interesting. So when you say dabble, like you do it when you want to.
Yeah, pretty much. And that's a blessing. I used to do it, and at one point I loved it. And then at one point it became a job, and once the fun is gone and it becomes a job, you don't want to do it anymore. But at one point I had no other choice but to do it. That was my job, and it was for the money.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, it wasn't fun for me anymore. So now I'm blessed that I don't have to do it. So at this point I do it if I feel like it.
I love it. I love it. So we have someone else that is joining us. I mean, I don't know what is going on with his actual broadcast. I mean, he in Miami living his best life, but we're gonna bring him on too, and y'all know him as Showtime. So while he's coming on, let's get back to it. So I love how you say, you do it when you want to. So you built your brand, so people know what you do, and they know you do it well, and they come when they need to. So all you got to do is say, you know what, I'm around. So what's up? And people automatically gonna gravitate towards you, right?
Right. Right.
So I love it. So when you say people gravitate towards you, how do you get people to gravitate towards you? Like, what is it that you do that people love?
For me, I would say quality, and I'm humble at the end of the day. I don't I'm I'm not cocky. And a lot of the things now, in the hair business, what's going on now, and the whole deposit thing, and the whole read 3 paragraphs before you could book me on the website, things of that nature. I don't do that. And I get it. People conform, uh, or either they follow the trends. What This is what's going on, and it's, you know, with me being from New York, moving to North Carolina, and also visiting other states and knowing people in other states. This is not just going on where we're from. This is going on everywhere. Everyone is doing it, and this is what's being done. So if it worked for some people, then so be it. But I'm never going to conform to what everybody else is doing. And that's what's different about me. I'm always going to be set aside. So I'm not asking you to put a deposit down. I'm not asking you to read 3 paragraphs of rules and regulations to get your hair done. I
Right.
mean, it just doesn't make sense to me.
You are unique, and that's stand out. You just got to be your best self. That makes you different from everybody else, being unique and being you. So, welcome to your show. I mean, late.
Don't disrespect me in front of a live studio audience.
You know what? Late is better than ever, but it is what it is. So this is the first time that you guys have met. So Show, if you could tell us a little bit about you, because I know you're a business owner too. And we're going to dive into a whole lot of business stuff and how we deal with businesses and relationships. So thank you, guests, for joining us with another episode of Showtime in Paris. Show, who are you?
First of all, who I am is upset that you got people in my business. Don't tell nobody I'm in Miami. The people could be looking for me. First off, making me look like I'm late because I'm wild. That ain't what happened. I was on time. I took a shower. Let me just get this out the way. I took a shower about an hour ago to make sure I'm fresh and I'm feeling good. I knew we had a new guest. I was trying to get my mind together because I heard she was very good and successful. So I wanted to have a good show. I like that picture of you in the background, by the way. Is that you up there on the wall?
Actually, that's my little sister. Look, there I go.
Oh, okay. Y'all looking like, oh, you got the whole fam down there.
Yeah, I'm actually home visiting my mom right now. So
Oh, I know how they do. They got everybody up on the wall.
yeah.
What had happened was, for everybody in the know, I'm in a hotel, and it was my fault though, because I logged onto the internet on my phone earlier and it went straight through. But I tried to do it on a laptop, and when I tried to log on a laptop, it was saying some privacy issues. I had to kind of work through it. But other than that, I see y'all handling this.
How do you view it? People are asking like on live. How do you view it? People are asking me.
How do you view what?
How do you businesses and relationships? Like, how can I say this? How do you build those relationships? Especially if, say, for example, you have a friend that's also doing a business and you are more successful than her. How does that relationship kind of, or you more successful than him? Does that relationship kind of get distraught, if you will? Or how do you lead by example and keep that friendship? That's what I'm kind of curious about too.
For somebody like me, it's not an issue because I have no ego with no partner or no friend or nobody of mine, anybody I'm in a relationship with. I just want you to do your thing, but I'm more focused on my thing. So I'm not rooting against you. I'm not nothing like that. I don't feel no way if I'm not doing as well as you or anything, because everybody grows at their same pace. So I think we should just keep the business, and our relationship is our bond. That has nothing to, what's going on in our business should have nothing to do with that. We should just be there to comfort each other and keep each other's heads up and offer good advice. I don't think it should be no competitiveness or anything like that.
I agree. Fendi, what you think?
In relationships, if you're ahead of the person, I feel like there may be issues. Not necessarily if y'all doing business together, but if you're in business and your business is successful and your partner is not on your level, so to say, then there may be issues. What I will say is that me personally, I kind of would stick around and try to help build that person, but you can only build somebody so much.
I agree.
You have to want to build yourself to that level. So eventually there may be some form of separation, and it is what it is. Now, and if I had a friend, because I never had any friends that we were in business and I was more successful than them, so I can't really say what I would do or what I have done. But what I would do is, again, like me, I just want everybody around me to win. Everybody around me, anybody in my circle, anybody in my triangle, my circumference, whatever.
I love it.
I want
that triangle. I love it.
All the shapes, circles. Don't come in with that Illuminati stuff. We ain't signed big yet.
You know
I want everybody to win. So I'm always trying to give my friends advice and like, do this or do that, or just you see how I did this, and make it real, because telling somebody something and it not being real and they not seeing, they're not gonna do it.
You're right.
Because you ain't paid it off for doing that, so why am I gonna do that?
Right.
So
when I was in the back, you was breaking up. What you just said?
So I was basically just saying you got to be able to show and prove. Like, it's just like when you're younger, and they say, do as I do, not as I say. So if I'm trying to help you to build and be better, then I got to show you that this is really working.
You got to show them the blueprint. You got to show them that, hey, this is the reason it's working, and this is how I'm benefiting from. But my thing is, when friends see you doing that and they see that, you're kind of putting yourself out there and you're putting it on social media and stuff, some people look at it as, oh, she bragging, or she thinks she all of that. How do you kind of blind yourself from people being like, you know what? She thinks she all of that. How do you hold yourself back and be like, I'm not going to think about what this person is saying. I'm not going to let that affect my brand and throw me off my game, if you will. How do you do that?
Me personally, I don't really care about other people. Like I'm in my own head. Like I think really highly of myself. So I only care about what I think.
But when you have
And
it's about other people because they have to support you and they have to kind of, lean into your business. So how can't you care about it?
You gotta have
because,
there has to be some form of balance. Like, for example, a couple of weeks ago, before the end of June, I was trying to reach a goal on my website. I said that I was trying to reach the goal, but I never put the amount of the goal. You understand? So, because there got to be some balance. Yes, I need y'all to know that I didn't reach my goal because I want to know if my supporters are going to bite or my supporters are going to help me. Are they going to go to this website and say, let's help her reach her goal? But you got people that if I put it out there and say my goal is 4,000, then now it's some form of hate because now you got monetary value attached to it. So they may say, no, I'm not about to help her get $4,000. You get what I'm saying? For the month. So there has to be some kind of balance.
I see what you're saying. You got to lead them, but you can't put it to the point where they're like, oh, I'm gonna get jealous. But you got to put the bait out there and kind of say, you know what, support me. But I know that we're kind of going into this question, but how about like when somebody can't support you, if they don't have the financial means to support your business, do you guys kind of like feel a certain way? Like, yo, that was my homie. Why she ain't buying nothing from me? Like, how do you kind of like balance that?
Go ahead. You got this, show.
I was going to say with me, you're never going to have a successful business just selling to your friends anyway.
Absolutely.
They're not enough. You don't have that many friends. So it's not really actually a big thing. That's more of a personal feeling. You just like, oh, this person didn't even help out or not even reposting me or showing no kind of support. That's you and your feelings because they're not really going to contribute. They're only like, how many friends you got? 5, 10? That's of any real consequence.
3.
So whatever they do, it's just support. But you need outside people if you're going to really get big anyway.
You're right.
So I don't really think it like that.
You're right. But how do you build your brand to support those outside people? Like, you know what I mean? How do you get those outside people to trust you enough to say, you know what, I'll buy from Fendi. Or, you know what, I'm going to support from Show. How do you build that outside support? Because for me, if I'm looking at somebody, I'm looking at reviews, I'm looking at this and I'm looking at that. And I'm like, how do I know this person is legit going to send me something? So how do you guys get people to trust you?
And I feel like that's a lot of times that is what people aren't doing. And I don't feel like it's because there's any malice. At the end of the day, everybody not leaving reviews. I have so many people that buy apparel from me, so many people that buy hair from me, and they're in my inbox and they're like, oh, my package came today, I love it fits well, the quality is great, this and the third, but they're not putting this out to the masses.
Oh, I see.
So everybody, they're not gonna do that. And it does make a difference. I had one time where this girl, she bought hair from me, she had it sold, and she looked bomb. She looked great. She posted it. I promise you, I probably made about 4 or 5 sales that same day.
Wow.
It does make a difference. The support does not always have to come in the form of everyone is not going to like your product, be it a friend or a family member. It does not matter. And that's the thing. Your expectation is what leads to these ill feelings.
You're right.
If you're not expecting this from someone, then you're not going to feel no type of way. And I don't expect it from nobody because that's what I had to teach myself. I wasn't always like this. I was one that felt like, okay, at one point in time, I would want my friends to support me. But then I had to learn that I'm bigger than the hood. Like, I don't want the hood. I want the world. I want the country. You get what I'm saying? So in the hood not gonna get you. You're not getting rich off the hood.
You're right. You're right.
It's not one hood at least.
Right. Not one. You got to reach multiple.
Right. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. And truthfully, I think people when they come to a business, they're not their authentic self because they're trying to step into a field sometimes that they're not used to. And they're trying to mirror or mimic what they see on social media, what they see on TV, and they're not themselves. People love when you are genuinely yourself when it comes to business, and they would buy something. Say, for example, I look bomb in this dress. I know I look bomb in this dress, even though this dress is not mine. Me wearing this dress and being authentically myself is gonna sell for sure. For you, it's like when you're talking about sports, you know that people are they're gonna gravitate towards you because you know what the heck you're talking about. You get what I'm saying? So when you just naturally kind of do what you like and what you feel is comfortable, your tribe is gonna find you, if you will. What y'all feel about that?
I think in my line of work specifically, it's result oriented. So no matter how you feel about me.
Sorry, I'm gonna go back to that question. But let us know what you do because we don't know what you do. And Fendi, we want to know exactly what you do too. So first, I'm gonna start with Show.
I'm a sports betting consultation. So how I explain it to people is basically I do what a stockbroker does for people with stocks. I basically teach you how to sports bet, the different terminology, different combinations, and I teach you how to look stuff up. But you can just follow me. I'll tell you what to bet on every day. So basically, I just give you advice to basically make money, and I show you how to budget your money. And basically, it's the same as stocks, but it's just quicker. It's easier to understand for people who don't got stock patience. You know, it's a lot to that, but people understand sports.
Knows about who to bet on, who to take a risk on, because some people like myself, I'm not as fluent in sports, right? So if I wanted to get some quick cash, you are the person that I would want to kind of go to. So Fendi, what is it that you do? What all do you do outside of hair, right? Because we heard the hair, but what else do you do?
I have a business. It's called Milan's Couture Collection. It is right now online based. I am looking to branch out and open up a location. Looking to do that in the Charlotte area and the Atlanta area, because the items that I sell consist of wigs, which are very popular, trending right now. I also sell single bundles, all types of hair textures, top quality, I might add. I have apparel. I actually have custom merch, which is the Milan Couture. The name derived from my daughter and my niece. My daughter's name is Milan. My niece, which is my oldest brother, his daughter is Couture. So that's where I came up with the name Milan Couture. I just love the way it sounds together. It sounds rich, fancy, and you know me, P. I'm rich. I ain't rich yet, but I'm rich.
She got the rich blood, and I love how you both are confident in what you do and you're able to articulate that. Most people who start businesses, they don't even know the half of their business. They don't even know how to explain their business to someone else. They don't have the guts and the courage to say, this is what I do. They just want people to follow them and purchase from them, and they can't even explain what they do. You get what I'm saying? So let's go back to my question. Okay, Show. All right. You were answering my question. Do you remember my question? Because I know you've been drinking. You've been in Miami.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. You lying. I don't do that, kids. What happened was, what was you asking me? How do I build the business, and like how do I trust? Like how do I get people to follow me? Which question? Because you was asking.
Okay, Fendi, is that what I asked him?
You was drinking too, huh?
You know, P was.
Yeah, exactly. Don't worry about it. Here's what I want to tell you. So anyway, when you were saying how did you structure your business and like business support, right? When I started from the beginning, I wasn't trying to have a business for nobody else. I was doing my own thing for me. I was working in the oil field. I was working 28 straight, 16-hour shifts, but I always sports betted for me. And I thought it was in my way. I'm like, doing all this working is taking away from my betting. I could probably make this money and have more time instead of working 16 hours a day. If I wasn't, because I was missing bets, and I'm like, maybe I should just quit and focus more on this. So I started winning a lot, and I would just post it on social media, talking shit, just messing with people, just be like going there, like, oh, I won again, and then some of my friends would be like, yo, what you betting on today? So they're my friends, so I'll tell them, and they'll follow me, and they'll start winning. So they will post up for me when they win, and that started the advertising for what I do. But I didn't know I was gonna make that a business. But then when I quit my job, I was sitting there thinking, what should I do for a business? And it was like, oh, I'm already doing this. People already follow me. So I just started charging. And then a fan base is just built in. And then the more they won, the more people like to post about their wins. And people were like, who's that? And they got word of mouth. It just starts spreading like that. And that's how I think the results. You start winning people money, people will tell people about you.
Right. You start building that brand, you start getting good reviews, you start leading people to the prize. People are automatically going to say, yo, help, this person got me this person. So that's kind of the same thing with you, Fendi. Like, right, when you send somebody something good, some great hair or a nice outfit that they look good in, people are naturally gonna be like, yo, look at this, look at this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I get you, Show. I get it. And then I like how you took that leap of faith too. You left your job and said, you know what? This is what I'm naturally good at. This is what's going to maybe win me the prize. You took a leap of faith. That takes a lot of courage. So kudos to you. What about you, Fendi?
I mean, building for me wasn't that easy. Like I said, when I first started, it was off of popularity. I use that.
You are popular. Go ahead.
I use that.
I heard about you.
I was always popular in high school. I was always popular growing up around where I lived at. So I took that and used it to my advantage. And I began to just buy things wholesale. I went and got a DBA, doing business as. Went right to the local Goshen, got my DBA, put it on paper, and this was 7 years ago.
Wow.
And I started to buy things wholesale and just double it and flip my money. But it was a quick flip. I didn't have bags. I didn't have a proper logo. I didn't have anything. But they were supporting me just because they knew me. And I've always been one to get fly. Like, so they gravitated towards me just because of that. If Fendi is buying it, if Fendi's selling it, it gotta be popping.
Mm-hmm.
And I use all of that to my advantage because, like I said, I love fashion. Anything fashion, I love it. So why not sell it? Like, buying from me is like getting a personal stylist because I'm not gonna sell something that I wouldn't wear or that I wouldn't have previously worn before I became a mother. Things of that nature. It has to look good to me.
I was about to say that lifestyle too. Your lifestyle sells what you're doing, because if people don't believe you're living that good, like you said, how you was known and you was fashionable, it's easy to do something when it's real. If people think you a bum, I take a lot of trips, I do a lot of stuff, so people be like, oh, he got money. So they gonna listen to somebody who they think got money.
Right.
That's how I go. Because if you struggling trying to teach people how to make money, ain't nobody gonna listen to you.
Perception too.
If you raggedy trying to teach people how to get fly, ain't nobody gonna take your advice.
I agree.
Right. You have to live it. Like, you have to be it. And that's the thing. I'm passionate about it. So it comes natural to me. Mm-hmm. So whether I had 1 or 100 supporters, I was doing it anyway. Because I know that this is something I want to do. This is something I have fun doing. This is what I love. Like, aside from me being a caseworker, aside from me being a correctional officer, this is my passion. This is what I love to do. So I had to build that. Now I have a proper logo. Now when you get your packages, I have thank you cards. I have business cards. But I built myself up there. And I taught myself. I didn't have nobody a helping hand along the way. I didn't have nobody saying, get this vendor.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. I've bought vendor lists. I've done all of that. I've spent late nights researching, and it just, you do what you put the time in, and it's gonna work for you.
You guys both said a few key things that kind of hit home for me. For one, Fendi, I like how you said, I had my DBA 7 years ago. Here we are today, and you are still building your brand, building your clientele. You're still working. So, you did not give up. You said, this is what I'm going to do. And it doesn't matter if it's 7 years, 5 years, 2 years. A lot of time people get discouraged and they're like, I'm done. I quit. People ain't support me 6 months in sometimes. Right. So I love how you said that. And I also like Show how you said, people are not going to support you unless you are your brand. And it doesn't matter too sometimes if, for example, you have money, you don't have money, as long as the perception is reality, people are going to follow you, right? You don't even need to know Sugar Honey Iced Tea about sports, but if you win 4, 5, 6 times and them 7 people post you on social media, you winning. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you're showing people, I know the code, this is the blueprint, right? So y'all said some key things. So if it was y'all 7 years ago or the now person, what would you say to somebody that is just building a brand or their business and they're getting discouraged? They're like, you know what? I can't build my business. Nobody's supporting me. I feel like I'm going to give up. I don't have thank you cards. I don't have the money for thank you cards. Or I don't know Sugar Honey Iced Tea about other people's betting, but I just know that it's my passion. Like, what advice would y'all give to people?
Go get a job. You sound like a loser. No, but sound like you're ready to be a businessman. No, but you got to get some confidence, man, because it's going to be rough.
Rough. And I hope the viewers have their pen and their paper, because confidence is key. And Fendi, you are very, very confident. You're not just confident in yourself. You're confident. You get and show you are confident too. A lot of people don't have that. They're like, they're defeated, and they don't understand that confidence kind of is in that top tier. You get what I'm saying? Even if you ain't winning, you got to be confident enough to know that you will win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you're gonna have rough patches, man. You're gonna stuff gonna go wrong. There's times I gave people 4 or 5 losing bets in a row, but I know how much money I've made people. But it's hard. Like, let's say somebody's seen y'all win like 10 straight times, and then they just jump on around the time you lose. To them, you just a loser because you just lost their money. But you got to know, like, nah, I got people I made a bunch of money, people who can vouch for me. I know what I'm doing, whatever the case may be. And it's like stock, because in stock, you put your money in, it goes up, it goes down. You don't always have the right thing. That's how it is. And if people don't understand that, you got to stand firm in what you know and the knowledge you got about the stuff and be like, yo, this is how it goes. It's not like I don't know what I'm talking about or this, that. You can't win 100%.
That's key. Before we go ahead to Fendi, make sure you guys like and share this conversation. It's definitely key and it's important. I'm having some technical difficulties with internet issues, but I apologize for that in advance. But Fendi, how do you stay confident? How do you kind of build yourself up? Like, what keeps you grounded when it comes to your business and even yourself as a woman? Because I'm going to say this, because we're all African American in this culture. We have a lot of stuff that are weighing over our head, right? What keeps you grounded? What keeps you like, you know what? Fudge it. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up. I'm still going to grind.
One, my supporters. And that's key, because there's times where I've gone days without a sale. And at that point, I'm back to the drawing board. What do I have to do different? It's a form of motivation for me, because giving up isn't an option. For most people, that will discourage them and they're giving up. But nah, it doesn't. When I don't get a sale, now what do I got to do? A discount code? How can I engage my targeted audience? What do I have to do different? You got to do something different. And then there's times where, just like 2 days ago, I'm on not a vacation, but I'm away. I'm not working right now, and I'm not doing the business. I'm visiting my mom, and I'm with my kids and things of that nature for a week. So I'm really working. I'm not really promoting my business.
Right.
I woke up to multiple sales, and so sometimes I'm making money in my sleep, and that is the goal. I am sleep. I am waking up. I am checking my site. I am checking my emails, and it is coming through, honey. And then there's times when it isn't. So you just have to be prepared for the good and the bad. If you set in your heart and your mind that giving up isn't an option, then you're good. That's all you need, is that determination. Just go hard. Promote your business, whether you get 1 like or 100 likes.
I love it. I love
it. You have, nobody is going to work for you the way you work for you.
Woo! I love it. I love it. Both guys are dropping some jewels on the people tonight. And Fendi, I want to reverse it back to you. You said something different. What makes you stand out from the crowd? What makes you do something different? What makes you different? And I think when you business, you have to find your uniqueness. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. And I do want to jump into some of these comments because I have some comments up here, but I want to know, like she said, something different. What makes you stand out? However, when you find that niche or what makes you stand out, do you automatically recognize it? Or is it something you're like, you know what? This is what works. Do you guys yourself kind of take kind of mental note? You know what? I stand out because I have a story. How do you know what makes you stand out? And when people do have their businesses and they figure out what makes them stand out, how do they hold on to that? Because it's easy to get sucked in and be just like social media and swamped into stuff.
If you just do you'll naturally have your own uniqueness. Like, you do what comes to your mind, do what works for you. But I think when you run in a business, you might start off, you don't know no better. Like, I don't want to speak for Fendi, but I think she might agree. You just doing what you think is supposed to happen. You doing what you think is supposed to happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, okay, people say, hey, I need to do this, I need to say this, I need to do that. But as you do, you see what works and what don't. So you start eliminating certain stuff, and then you do more of that. And then when you do more of that, you be like, damn, if I would have added this to it, it really would have popped. You start thinking, you start just finding little unique things and stuff to add on, stuff that's wasting your time. And as you go, like she did, she was going, then she realized, like, oh, I should have some business cards. Mm-hmm. Oh, I should have this. Like, it'll just start coming, and then you have your flow. And then next thing you know, you got a whole little system going. It comes natural when you just do it your own way.
It comes natural. That's a natural thing. What about you, Fendi? What do you feel about that?
It most certainly comes natural. But also, when in my line of work, there's competition. Woo. So I gotta scout my competition. So when I made my price list, I was on Kendra's boutique. I could tell you all her prices off the top of my head. I know that she was a known business for hair. The people liked her hair. They were paying $190 for a 14-inch frontal. So you know what? I'm gonna sell mine for $135. Is my profit as high as hers? No, but I haven't built myself up to where I can do what she does. So you cannot take into account what someone else is doing. You know, you scout your potential competitors and you work around that. You're gonna provide top quality just as well as she does, but I'm gonna give it to you for a little cheaper.
Ooh, I love it.
I definitely did what she said, because when I first started, I didn't know how to price it. So I went on and looked at other professionals and see how they price, and then I made mine a little bit cheaper. So you got to be aware. That's why I said you start off doing what you think you're supposed to do and what's others right, but then you find your price range. You find
Yep. I love it. So y'all are saying you have to be strategic, you have to be realistic, and it is okay to kind of formulate yourself off of somebody else's blueprint. You have to mirror somebody else who's winning, but put your own spin on it, and that's okay. Walt Disney didn't become Walt Disney because he was Walt Disney. He mirrored somebody else. The guy from Facebook, I don't even know his name. I really don't even care. But he became himself because he's himself. It is okay to look at somebody else's blueprint and kind of formulate your plan, because if they're winning, there's room at the table for somebody else. And I love how both are successful business owners, and you both are saying it is okay, but you have to be strategic. Because Fendi said, even though Kendra's boutique was charging this amount, I said, you know what? Let me take my stuff, mirror hers, come down a little bit, but I'm going to mirror hers. You have to be, and I love how you say, you know what? You could go out and you could look at other people's stuff, just mirror it, image it, because you're not always going to win. Somebody else who's already winning, formulate your plan and just figure it out. It's okay.
But you got to know what position you're in too. Like she said, the girl Kendra was already doing her. She can't go make her prices the same as Kendra. Kendra already had a clientele and had a credible name. So you got to have people try you out. So you got to get that discount so you can still not even her customer, just have people interested. Like, oh, let me save a couple dollars, and they're like, oh, this is just as good. And
but
you got to have a niche.
Exactly, and I also how she said I had to lower my prices. She had realistic expectations. Like, you know what? I know I'm not on Kendra's level yet, but I could get there. But I'm going to take my blueprint and formulate it like hers, and I'll get there. So she had realistic expectations for herself. She's like, you know what? I'm not going to go 149. I'll do 135, but I'm going to get there. And she probably still followed Kendra. You still followed her, right?
Her.
Okay, I can hear you now.
I had never followed her actually. But I did go to her website. And I checked it out, and I checked her prices out. I actually went to another one who is not as popular, but she was mentioned. And so I checked out all my competition, and that's what I did. People that I knew people were going to. And then as far as the apparel, I don't have what other people have. I set myself aside. I want my product to be a little different. And I began to customize my merch with my own brand name on it. Yeah. It wasn't all retail. So I wanted to do something different. But like I said, you have to know your audience first and foremost. Know who you want to buy your items. You gotta have a target audience, and you gotta be consistent. You know, I seen when I first had started, when I first got the LLC, because now I no longer I have the DBA, but I upgraded. I now have an LLC. I now have tax exempt. I can charge taxes, and I don't have to pay taxes on when I buy wholesale anymore. You know, everything is a process. No one told me any of this. I learned on my own. So once I started doing that, and once I got the logos and my bags with my name on it, now I feel like y'all gotta put some respect on my name. Y'all got some respect on my name, because y'all not just showing up to the crib no more buying something out of a plastic bag that I bought from a wholesale vendor. I'm giving y'all quality now. And they look at that. If they're getting quality, they look at that. So you really just have to take a step back and say, what do the people want? What do the people need? How can I keep them engaged? Because you get someone that will support you. Let me just try her out and let me support, but they'll never come back. I could go to my website and I got returning customers. Why? Because I keep them engaged. I keep new arrivals. I keep discounts, whether it be for the weekend. If I know a party's coming up, customers that show me love and they go super hard for me. I'm going to give you your own discount code. They're going to post that. Now they got their own discount code. They hate.
I love it. So I want to jump into this, right? So there's a few things that you guys both said. Your niche, right? Some people step into a niche that's not their field. They may sell candles. Yo, you don't even have candles in your house. How are you selling candles? You have to do what you like to do, and it just naturally comes. And I like how Fendi said you keep your people engaged. You know it's a party, you're gonna sell party stuff. And then I also like how you both have said you got to keep it consistent, right? You got to continue pounding at. You can't get discouraged or anything. So I'm gonna kind of wheel it in. I'm gonna talk about our African American community. When I say that, for myself, and this is opinion based, guys, African Americans, we kind of think emotionally. We don't think strategically. Like you guys are both on a strategic level. What did it take for you both to think, you know what? I'm not going to think emotionally just because I'm not going to take it to heart. How did you guys break the mold and start thinking strategically?
If you want to make a profit, you better.
I honestly, you gotta take your feelings out of it. You have to take your feelings out of it. Cause I'm empty over here, P.
Right, I see you. You see me.
Look, but you really have to take your feelings out of it. What you gotta know, like, for instance, social media plays a big part in today's world. Period. Black community, Spanish community, it just plays a big part. And
Dating.
with me, I've seen a lot of posts. You got people that say, "Oh, why would I buy that when I can go get it from such and such for this price?" Or people selling this for $60 when they only paid $12 for it. Well, listen to this. Before anybody started selling clothes, shoes, hair, or whatever have you, and you were going to the store buying it, or you was buying it from Fashion Nova, you never once researched how much Fashion Nova paid for their merchandise before they tagged it a retail price. You never once looked at how much Gucci paid for their material before it was made in this manufacturer in China or Italy for $3, and we're gonna go pay thousands of dollars for it. Okay, let's be real. So when things like that happen, you got to take it with a grain of salt, because everyone is not gonna be for you. So now when I see things like that, before I may have gotten into my feelings, but now I realize that for everyone that don't support, I'm gonna have 5 that do. So I don't business with that type of stuff anymore. I don't really care, because at some point you gotta sit back and say, and these are the people saying these things, I got a little hate in my blood. But regardless if they want to say that or not, they do, because they don't do it to nobody else. They're not researching how much Charlotte Russe pay for their stuff. They're doing the same thing that I'm doing and that other business owners are doing. So guess what? When they don't support you and they say stuff like that, you got to take it with a grain of salt. Keep it pushing, because everybody is not doing it. Some people, like myself, I see it, I like it, I buy it. I don't really care how much I'm a business owner. But prior to me coming to New York to visit my family, everything that's in my suitcase, I bought from somebody else, and I have my own merchandise. I didn't say these people only, and I know how it works, because I do the same thing. I know that they got this for a cheaper price. That's how retail works. And you just got to keep it pushing. You cannot build a brand worrying about what somebody don't say. The more I worry about somebody that don't support me, I'm neglecting the people that do support me.
Yeah.
My focus is the people that support me, not the people that don't. If you don't support me, so be it. Keep buying your Charlotte Russe or whatever it have you.
Right.
That's what I was trying to say, because like even Walmart, like as great as, no matter how good the company is, it's gonna be somebody who don't like it.
Yeah.
There's people walking around saying, I'll never shop at Walmart again over some experience they had or something happened or they got a bad thing. So it don't matter how good your stuff is. You can't even pay attention to all that. If it's constructive criticism or something you can get better at, then you take that in. But if it's just people talking, you're not gonna, that's always gonna happen. There's no way to have 100% everybody on your side and nothing.
No way. It's not gonna happen. Everyone isn't gonna like you. But I don't feel like I was put on this earth to be liked. That's just not what God put me here for. It wasn't to be liked. I'm gonna impact who needs to be impacted by me, and I'm gonna make a difference in people's lives who they need that from me. This is I get a lot of inboxes, and you don't know how much you motivate me, and keep doing what you're doing, and that is what keeps me going day in and day out.
Wow.
That is what keeps me going. And I'm not 100% to where I want to be.
But you will get there.
But I'm on my way. I'm on my way.
Ooh, she said, I'm on my way. Let me just drop the I can't drop my drink, but drop a bomb. But let's jump into some of these comments, right? So you guys know I'm having internet issues here, but let's jump into these comments. It looks like we have a loyal viewer here. Maurice Washington says, when you're passionate about something, it doesn't feel like work. Even better when you get compensated for it. You're right. When you're compassionate about something, when you love what you do, like if you love hair or you love sports, it don't feel like work. It's just natural. People gonna see that. They're gonna see it and they're gonna be like, you know what? This is what she likes. This is what she loves or what he loves. They're gonna just automatically grow towards you. So he says, you can build, learn, and grow together. And that may come with the family members and relationships, right? So you can build and learn together. People have to understand that you can learn together. You don't have to be jealous of your sister or your brother or your, your cousin, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. You don't have to be jealous of them. You can grow together, because Fendi knows something that Show don't know, that Paris don't know. Paris knows something Show and Fendi don't know. We can grow together, and that's how you have to look at it. You guys agree?
It's hard for me to agree, but I guess you know something I don't know.
Whatever.
I don't know what it is, but if we keep going, we're gonna find it.
We can't expect for our friends to support our businesses if they don't have to elevate our circle. You're right. You have to watch.
Evaluate.
What are you saying?
Well, he said you have
evaluate our circle.
Listen, blame it on the alcohol. It's my birthday.
We just knew something you ain't know how to pronounce evaluate.
Right. You know what? I just learned from y'all. Thank you so much.
I have a 50-50. I 50-50 agree with that, because
which part?
As far as him saying, if your friends don't support you, you have to reevaluate your circle.
Okay, I'm listening.
I have friends. I have a man, and they all support me, but there is times where they don't, and I don't get upset. I can't focus on that. I'm not gonna throw away a 20-year friendship because you didn't buy something from my website.
Yeah.
That to me that's childish, and to me that's petty. Because who knows? Maybe that same friend that didn't buy something from the website told another person. They may have said, oh, somebody may have been talking and said, oh, I have to find something to wear, but such and such doesn't have fast shipping. And she could have been like, hey, my friend has a website. So although she didn't physically purchase anything, she told somebody and they purchased something. So, it's support comes
in different forms.
In different ways. Everybody don't sports bet. So I got friends who don't sports bet, no matter how good I'm doing or no matter what. They don't like risk any money. It ain't for them.
Right.
But if somebody asks somebody, be like, oh, I know a guy who sports, or they have sent me people. So I appreciate that. You don't have to.
But in a sense, I can't agree with him when he says you have to evaluate your circle, because if your friends don't support you in any way, whether it's word of mouth or anything, if they just trying to be your friends for something, you have to kind of be cognizant of that too. But it's kind of a thin line, because you don't know who they're spreading the word to. They may not say, Show, I told them about your sports show, or Fendi, I told them about, your line. They may not say that. So you got to kind of like gauge it and kind of play it by ear. And I love how she said you don't turn away a 20-year friendship because they can't support you. So you got to kind of gauge it. I guess I could agree with you, to each their own. It depends. I'm 50.
We all got frenemies though. So you know what friends is what friends. So some friends are close, but they just feel a certain way when you're doing too good.
I know y'all have a drink, but please put your drinks up, because you said frenemies, my dude.
And with them building your brand, you're going to, if they wasn't a friend of me before, they may become one.
Yeah, you'll see it. It'd be little slick stuff that happen, but you can act like you don't see it. But just take it in. It don't really matter to me, but you notice it. You notice it's like when you got some good news, it's tend to cut short. They'll like ask you something and move on. If you're going through a bad time, they want to elaborate and get all into the details. So what happened with this? What happened with that? So how did this happen? What went wrong? You owe this person. And you say, man, I got some good stuff to happen. I made this extra such money to cut you. Oh, that's what's up. And they just cut it short. You'll see that kind of stuff. Some people don't mind you doing good, just not better than them.
Take note.
Right. And those type of people, I'm not only gonna take note, but you can't go with me. And that's just that. But
do you tell them though? You tell them you can't go with me, or what do you do?
You kind of just grow apart. I don't have.
Yeah, you move accordingly. You don't gotta have that conversation.
I don't have to tell you that you can't go with me. You know you can't go with me.
But do you think some people need constructive criticism? Like, yo, this is why you can't grow me, because if you just grow apart from that person, that may lead them to questions like, why did you grow apart from me? And then they may stop liking you for some other reason. So do you think it's okay to provide
fine. Which is fine because you yourself have to realize that as you grow, everybody can go.
Everybody's not on that ladder.
You just can't. It just does not work. There's no right or wrong answer to why, but they just can't. It does not work. Just like I always say, I'm a firm believer that a friend to many is a friend to none. Okay, so I don't have a lot of friends because it's a lot of different personalities. So with these different personalities, you can't please everyone. It's the same way in business. The same exact way. You can't please everyone. And I'm not going to try to please everyone.
And when you cut people off, they know what they did. Like when people acting funny too, they don't really not know why you did it. They just like, oh, you noticed? Sometimes they might not think you noticed. You know, you've been letting them get away with it for so long. And then one day you just go cold to that shit. You know, and it's like they sit back and they like, oh, he must have picked that up. He must have realized I done this, that. Like nobody's sitting around not wondering why somebody not talking to him. Because if me and you just stop talking, if you text me at later on Paris next Thursday to do a show and I don't respond, you'll start replaying back in your head what could have happened. You're like, did I say something? Did I do this? Did I do that? You'll see where the problem might you're like, oh, he probably got offended by that, or maybe this happened. You'll notice.
You're right though.
Fact. I was just reading this comment. And the last sentence, he said, they wait for others to hop on it before they become a part of the wave.
Woo! Why do people do that? All right, so grind and stay consistent. When you get to where you want to be, those same people will be like, I knew she could do it. They could wait for others to hop on the wave to be a part of it. So you think people just sit back and wait? You know what? I'm going to just sit here. I'm going to wait for Fendi to blow up. And when she blow up, I knew Fendi back in the day, or I knew Show back in the day. Why do people do that? What do y'all think?
Now they supporting. You could have raised your prices $1,000 more than what you used to charge. Now they supporting. Because everybody else supporting. But when I was selling it for $40, you didn't want it. But now I'm selling the same exact thing for $80 and you buying it because everybody else is buying it. People follow suit. People don't find it their own.
It's a herd mentality, man.
A herd.
It's a herd mentality. That's all in all facets of life. Like women might not want a man until he start getting big, and then one of your friends like him. Now you like him. Now you realize like, oh, he kind of cool. You know, that's what
the ugliest man. Oh, he cute now because everybody like him.
Right.
Yeah, guys do that. A girl be hanging around y'all don't care. Then he get with her. Then all of a sudden, dude want to start flirting with her. You know, when you it happens in the music industry. Somebody get a woman that nobody care about. Now everybody want to date them. Date the same woman. That's how I go. Like,
let's jump into that. What did you do? Both of y'all. This question from both of y'all. What did you do that you've noticed that you took a mental note? Hey, listen, I've been started that. Now somebody else hopped on the bandwagon. I ain't got to tell the people. But what did you do that somebody else hopped on the bandwagon?
You know, I ain't gonna say hop on a bandwagon. What I would say is sometimes when you're like an influential friend, and it might be them sometime, like there's a lot of things that you might do first, and then people might not realize they were interested in it, or they be like, oh, I could do that. You might have gave them confidence. Like I start a business, you might have started a business, and then soon 3 of your friends got one. Like you know, I started a business early, then a couple of my friends had a business. I started sports betting. And then once people seen I was doing that, a lot of people started sports betting. I knew, but you know, it's just I don't think it's with everybody. It's like them just riding the wave. Is that they just wasn't even thinking about it. You just opened up a new lane, so they were like, oh, they seen that you were successful in it. Because I'm sure she might know some people who tried to sell hair or tried to get her vendor or try to do. You know, people do stuff like that.
I'm listening.
I'm about to have to wrap it up, but I'm gonna leave y'all with this. Like, you know, I've always been the type of person that I'm gonna stand out regardless. So I've put people in a position to get money, doing the same exact thing that I do. And I feel like I don't feel like you've made it until you're in a position to put somebody in a position to win. And I've had girlfriends or people that I thought were my friends that all right, let's do this together. I put you on, and now they do it on their own, which is fine. Because guess what? That's not gonna stop what I got going on. Congratulations. But remember that I put you there first. And that's the same thing, just like nobody ever pays homage. Nobody ever pays homage. And I'm not gonna say I'm the first that ever did it, but I was one of them. And a lot of these females with the crab in the barrel mentality, they don't pay homage. And they just got natural hate in their blood. They don't even realize it. But like, I've been doing hair for a very long time. I choose not to do it anymore. Not that I can no longer do hair. I just did somebody hair last night, and it came out very good. And I posted it and everything. But like I said, people do not pay homage. I was in business with a friend of mine, and it did not work out. We ended up not going through with the business, but she always respects me that I was willing to. I took her, not say give me the money. I took her with me. I showed her the ropes. Let's buy these hats. Let's get them done. We're gonna distress them. We're gonna do all of this together. We're gonna get our website. We're gonna get everything popping together. You gonna eat. We got the bank account, the business bank account, DBA. We did all that together. You get what I'm saying? But it was something that I was already doing. But I put her in a position because she in my circle. I want you to win. When one of my friends decided to sell clothes, she hit me up. I posted it for her because I know I could sell it from my page. So guess what? I want you to get money too. You just have to be secure within yourself. And once you're secure within yourself, you're not gonna be like that. You're gonna put people on, and you're gonna. I gave vendors away for free to people that I don't even really deal with like that. But I'm not a hater. I have not an ounce of blood in my ounce of hate in my blood. It's just not there. So I'm always feel like even if I put you on, that's just like the song say, we wear the same shoes, but you not gonna step. It is what it is. And once you know that, you'll be fine.
I love it. So we're going to jump into this last comment before we wrap it up. So Kitty Witty from YouTube says, why are y'all so negative? Y'all on live speaking hypothetically about y'all past friendships and exes while they're long gone and not even thinking about you. That's Kitty Witty from YouTube. What y'all got to say?
Well, me personally, everybody know me. I'm the most positive person all the time. I don't even think about other people.
Right.
But if you ask I'm anybody will tell you like I just worry about myself. I don't care what's going on with other people. But when you ask to answer her question, she asks hypothetical questions. She asks, how do you handle it if you're in a relationship with a friend that is doing such and such? And I even said, I don't really care what people think because it don't matter. You can't please everybody. That's not being negative. But I did say that it does happen though. You are going to be in friendships where people watch you a little too close. They got negative stuff to say. And I said what you do when you deal with it. I don't think that was negative. That was constructive criticism to how to deal with stuff if you're in that position. But my real answer is who give a damn, because I don't really care what people got going on. That don't got nothing to do with it.
Joey, great answer.
And Kitty, I think it's all about perception. I believe you perceived it as being negative because with me and my examples, I'm currently friends with all of them. These are not past friendships. These are actually long-standing 10, 15, 20-year friendships where whether it worked or not, we are still friends because we don't let things like that get in between us. As we said earlier, like I'm not going to throw a 20-year friendship away for something so minute. So it's definitely not being negative. That is how you perceived it.
I love it. I love it. Both of y'all had great answers. So we are wrapping it up with an episode of Showtime in Paris, brought to you by Don't Get Tricked Networks. I'm a little bit tipsy, you know what I'm saying? But we're going to wrap it up. So I'm going to start with my left and go to my right. So, Fendi, what is your wrap up sentiments to the audience? And by the way, we had a phenomenal time with you tonight. You are such a jewel dropper. You are brilliant. I love Milan Couture. I love everything that you do. You're inspiration. You're everything. What are your final words?
I just want to say to everybody and anybody wanting to start a business or already doing business and have any they're discouraged in any way, don't give up and keep going. Just do it. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Consistency, determination, and take your feelings out of it. Period. You have to take
feelings out of it. Let me drop my wine glass. All right.
Oh Lord.
I love it. Show, what are your final endings? And we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
The main thing is perseverance, because it's going to be ebb and flows. It goes up, it goes down. So you just got to stick with it. When you hit those rock bottoms, it's all about adjusting too. You got to have perseverance, and then you got to adjust. So when you hit those lows, don't sulk. Just think of how you can get back up. Think of what caused it to go down, and you like, how can I reverse this? Like she said, if you might got to lower your prices, you might got to give a sale, you might got to be more vocal on social media and all of that. But the first thing you got to do is do it. If you think about starting a business or being a business person, just do it. Because it's hard to start. When you're sitting there, you don't think it's going to work. You start from scratch and it's not going to work. Have some confidence, take a chance, and then stick to it. Don't give up because it didn't work in the first week. And I also want to thank y'all for holding the show down when I wasn't here. And I want you to know that usually I carry us, but because you was here to help her, you actually helped guide her through this episode without me. And I'm proud of both of you. You did a great job.
Oh, I love
and nice meeting you, Show. And I want to
meet you.
Thank you to both of y'all for even having me.
Yes.
It was great. It was a great experience.
Yes. Make
Appreciate
sure you
you.
both drop your links in the comments. Go back and add some spunk to the commentary. I appreciate you guys both. Continue to stay blessed. I hope both of your businesses expire and explode in 2021. You guys are both amazing. Both of your businesses are great. So Kitty Witty said, great advice, peace, and she loved it. So guys, this is on YouTube. This is on Facebook. This is everywhere. So make sure you like and subscribe for another episode of Showtime in Paris. Thank you, Fendi, for being our special guest. Show, you were late, but you know what? I forgive you for
I'm
it.
always on time.
I'm going to continue to come because it's my birthday. It's my
Happy birthday.
All right. Good night. Happy birthday.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night, guys. Be blessed. Bye, guys. Show.
Yeah.
Still here.
You want me out of here? It's your birthday. You got drunk. You about to go celebrate, ain't you? You have no kids.